Well, life for a midlife retired woman is full of surprises. It seems that once we just get used to being in a new season, another season is knocking on our door. Hi, I'm Amy Fries, and I'm the founder of The Empty Nexter, and I'm here to share what my new season, my new role is going to be. I am going to be a grandmother. Yep. The word is out. It's official. I'm going to be a grandmother of a baby boy. My son and his wife just had their gender reveal, and oh my goodness, talk about excitement, talk about being just like hardly able to contain the mystery of what's it going to be. Is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a girl? We were all over the place on what it was going to be, but yes, it's official. A new little baby boy Freeze is coming to town. And with all of that leading up to this, I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to be as a grandma? How am I going to know what to do? How am I going to be able to take care of a baby? Well, I know that the responsibility is really not on mine. It's going to be on my son and his wife. But all these thoughts, all these questions, the anticipation is always the more than what it actually is, right? I never was that nervous about becoming a mom. It was a very natural thing for me, and maybe it was for you too. Of course, I read the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting, poured through those pages, but I really wasn't too nervous about it. I feel more nervous about becoming a grandma because it's been a hot minute since I've had a little baby newborn in my presence, a little toddler, like, oh my gosh, is the baby gonna be safe? What if something happens when I'm watching it? I've asked these questions to friends of mine that have already become grandmothers, and they're like, Amy, no, it will all come back to you. You are gonna be fine. And that is just the way life is. We move into a season, and as you've maybe heard my story about retirement, I struggled. But I think becoming a grandmother and being a grandmother will be not so much of a struggle. In fact, I think it's going to be bliss. It's going to be a blessing. And I think I'll be able to navigate it once I get accustomed, to that again. But we are just so excited and so grateful that my son and my daughter-in-law live nearby. But the questions that kind of are going through my head, as well as the ones I just mentioned, are, okay, so I've got to find my place in this new space. I don't want to be a grandma that is offering unsolicited advice when it's not asked for. So I think it definitely calls for me to be in observation mode, just as I was getting used to, just being a mother-in-law, which has come very easily. I have a wonderful daughter-in-law, but as a grandma, I've raised 3 children. So I do have a little bit more in my arsenal, but I really want her to navigate this on her own, and it will come very naturally to her, I am sure. I think she's going to be a great mother, and my son is so excited to be a dad. But I do not want to get in the middle of their parenting. I want to be the fun grandma. And yep, I really think I'm going to stick with the tried and true title of grandma. People have asked me, so what are you going to be called? And I just don't feel comfortable being called anything other than grandma. I have great memories of my grandmothers, and I'm kind of a traditional girl in many cases. So I think that's going to be my name, my moniker. But I do want to be the fun grandma and only have to, shake my finger when I need to, or get stern when I think it's really called for. And usually that would be only when it's concerning safety. I'm kind of a safety Nazi. I was that way with my kids too. But I'm going to kind of leave that to the parents. I have told my son, daddy to be, as well as my other 2 kids, that when you have a child of your own, that is when you are going to realize just how much your mom and dad love you. Now, of course, I think they know that we love them. That has not been any mystery, but there is just something about having your own child that you can't understand until it happens to you. Just how big your love can be, how it can grow, and how it's just this natural event that you go into protective mode and you'll do anything for that child of yours. And I just cannot wait to witness them experiencing the greatest joy, the greatest title, the greatest role in a life that we are given. And I think being a grandmother is gonna, from what I've heard, my friends say, oh my gosh, that tops even being a parent. And I'm like, really? I love my kids so much. But again, I'll find out when that baby arrives. And the ETA is October. I always say, no woman, no mom-to-be should ever be given a due date, because those babies come when they want. And a funny story, and I think it got my son and my daughter-in-law ready for the unexpectedness of that baby's arrival. So they found out the gender, obviously, that's why they had the gender reveal, and the blood work was not coming back in the time that they were wanting, because her parents, who live in Kentucky, were in for the weekend for the SEC tournament in Nashville. And she's like, if we don't know by Friday, I'm just gonna cancel it. And I said, well, hey, I will go and get 2 cakes, one with the pink filling and one with the blue filling, and we'll have them. So if that news comes in, the results come back, we will be ready. Well, I thought I was gonna have 2 cakes to eat, because come Saturday evening, no word had been out. Party was canceled. They were initially gonna have a little bit larger to do, but I get the text on Sunday morning and she's like, the results are in. And I'm like, okay, the cakes are here. So I ran back out to the grocery store, and I love to throw a party. I love to entertain and make it special, but this was a little last minute for me even. And because I'm not in my own home, I don't have all the things that I can grab to kind of pull it together. But I ran to the local grocery store and found, some curling ribbon. I got the balloons, pink and white balloons, blue and white balloons, and pulled a little something together. And so what they did was they took the champagne glasses and they, put those in upside down, as you can see in the picture and the video. And oh my goodness, before the video, my daughter-in-law was like, oh my gosh. She was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. She was, just at that precipice of like finding out what she was carrying. And it was just so sweet. We were all so excited. And it's just so wonderful that life gives us the opportunity to celebrate and to be together and to really embrace the blessing, because there is really no greater blessing than the anticipation of a new child, a new baby, and a new family member. There's just so much that comes with that, right? And my mom had made painted a little plaque, I think a couple days prior, and says, a new baby is God's way of saying the world must continue. And it's just so sweet and poignant. So I also had gifts beforehand, one for a baby boy and one for a baby girl. So it was fun to give her that. And my son was just over the moon, as we all were. I mean, he would have loved to have had a baby girl too. I think dads especially, when they have that first son, they're just, I don't know, it just seems like something that they can relate to a little better. It's already hard enough just being able to relate to becoming a father. So I just can't wait to be a part of this amazing blessing. And if you have any advice, any tips, any tricks for this future grandma, please let me know. Also share, what's your name? What do you go by? And are you a fun grandma with the cookies and all of that? I know that I just want to be that cozy, comforting place for my grandson. I want him to know how much his grandma loves him and his grandpa. And I want to be able to take this role seriously, but also I think I'll be a lot more relaxed, even though I was very relaxed mom raising my kids. But I truly want to take it seriously in the way that I want to be able to impart godly wisdom and help raise him in the way that he should go, even though that main responsibility is going to be on his mommy and daddy. Don't want to try to, be something that I'm not supposed to be. I am the grandma. I am not the mom. I had my time raising my kids. Now it's their turn. So I know there'll be great parents, and they're so excited, and it's just all going to be wonderful. And I can't wait to share how my transition as a grandmother goes. I think it's going to be a lot smoother, a lot easier than becoming a retired woman. So beaming from ear to ear, as you can see. So with all that to be said, I hope that you continue coming back, joining me here on the Empty Nester for a lot more retirement content. There's just always something, a new surprise around every corner, and you can find it here too. Please subscribe, please like, please share, and please leave a comment so I can get to know you too, my Nexter friend. Until then, be blessed.